And oh, I've got so much to do before I leave, but I'm just gonna do what's absolutely necessary and go. Because as it turns out, I had signed up to get a substitute teacher certificate here in Florida. And I was like on the verge of finishing everything. It's basically all that's left to do is take the course, and then I could start getting hired out as a substitute teacher. But it's a 2-day course that I have to take. So, 8 hours, it's like, I think 7 or 8 hours long each day. So it's this weekend, not this weekend, it's the weekend after next and the following weekend. It's 2 days of one Saturday each weekend. So I figured, well, gosh, I'm just about to get in, now I'm moving, and I was kind of like, do I even bother taking the class and everything? And I said, well, I should take it, because then I could always, but as it turns out, I started researching how to get substitute teaching, getting licensed to be a substitute teacher in Maryland, and as it turns out, the way you get licensed in Florida is reciprocal with about 40, there are all these states that have reciprocal agreements. So if you get your substitute teacher's license in Florida, it's good in like 48 states. So that kind of made sense for me then to take the course here in Florida, because I was already signed up for it. I just had to show up, and I was done. So I said, oh good, so I'm not going to move until I finish the course, now that I've already registered, I'd already paid and everything. So, and that would give me a little time to prepare for my trip. And so I've decided to go on the 18th of September, because the course ends on the 15th, and then I need a day or two to pack and stuff. So there's that. And so now, because I'm planning all this other stuff, I'm not focusing necessarily on my sewing channel as much, but I'll just do one video this weekend. It shouldn't be that difficult. I'll just do like a simple flowy dress or something. And another idea I had for a video, and you all can tell me what you think. I was thinking of going back on all my Ramble videos that I've ever done, even from the other channel, which they're still over on the ASMR channel, because that's where I started doing the rambles, and then ended up deciding to start a Ramble channel because the ASMRists some of them didn't, a lot of them actually didn't like my rambles, because they said, you're not even ASMR in your rambles and all this stuff. So, you're too loud when you laugh, and like I'm about to fall asleep, and then you break into this loud, crazy laughter, and you wake me up. I'm like, and it's true. It's not fair to be promoting an ASMR channel if you're going to be screaming, laughing every, unexpected moment. So okay, I opened this channel. So anyway, I have rambles on both channels, but I was thinking of you all. Give me your feedback. Tell me if you happen to remember any favorite clips of a ramble that you like. What sticks out in your head? Oh yeah, the time that you said whatever. If you happen to recall, because sometimes people have written to me and said, oh, I can't find the video where you're talking about whatever, X or Y. And as it turns out, I realized I didn't even start a Ramble playlist over here. I've got this candy playlist, and I've got the backyard nature playlist, and I think I have another one, but I don't have a Ramble playlist over here. I have a Ramble playlist over there on the ASMR channel. So I'm going to do a Ramble playlist, so at least you can go to the rambles all in one place. But so I thought what I would do is take the clips of the specific, not the entire ramble, but yeah, the part you remember. And then I'll take that little piece out that you're referring to, and because I kind of do remember, strangely enough, even though I've done several of them, I kind of remember which video had what in it, because I've listened to them sometimes. Sometimes I go back and listen to them, and I can't remember except when I listen to them, I'm like, oh yeah, I did do that after my divorce. Like I didn't remember being as depressed as I was after my divorce. I mean, like when I immediately, like within the first 2 years, and then I had written my dog died and all that. I mean, that was 2012. I just listened to it again because somebody had asked me about it in an email they sent me. So I went back looking for it, and then I said, oh, why don't I just listen to it, see if this is the one. And then I got into listening to it, and I realized how depressed I was. And now, after listening to the video, I remember how depressed I was. But I had it had faded. The depression had faded. Once in a while, I will admit, even now, and even though I'm about to, move in with a guy, I'm thinking the rest of our lives, the rest of probably his life, because he's older than me. You'd think I'd be completely over the divorce. And to be honest, I don't know, maybe it's not the same for everyone, but I'm still not over my divorce. Sometimes I still feel a little tinge of pain. And I guess a part of you never falls out of love with your spouse, or for some people. And I'm not in love with him, and he obviously was not right for me. And he's married again, actually, legally married in Argentina. But the thought of never seeing him again, when I really think about it, hurts a little bit. So, I don't know, that's obviously something I still haven't resolved and probably never will. But whatever, I mean, it's not going to hobble me. I'll survive. But I think there's a wound that maybe for some people just never completely goes away. It's a chronic wound that stays with you. So even though now I'm pretty happy, like I said, I feel companionship, I feel protected, I feel loved. And, I'm moving in with my boyfriend, and he's very happy with me, and I'm very happy, I'm satisfied with him. Maybe happy isn't the right word, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, yes, I'm content. Content is definitely a perfect word for how I'm feeling. I'm content that I found such a nice, supportive man who is respectful, who he doesn't insult me, which I know that seems like a given. but I've been speaking with my boyfriend about the move. We're going to take the Amtrak train. They have an AutoTrain, it's called, where you can drive up to Orlando area. Then there's a train that takes you to Lorton, Virginia, which is near D.C., and you can board it with your car. You board the car, and then you go and sit in the seats. It's about 16, 17 hours, but we're making it sort of an outing. So he's going to fly down here, we're going to drive to Orlando together, and then we're going to take the train up to Virginia, and then drive to his house. So that should be interesting, and I'll try to take video on the trip to show you. But it's at night. It leaves at 4 in the afternoon, and then travels through the night, and we get there the next morning. But still, there will be daylight part of the time, so I'll take video that day. So I'm excited about that, about the trip. I already told you about my substitute teaching classes coming up. And then once I'm there and settled, I'll look for work. There's that, and I guess I'm kind of worried about my parents, though. They're fine. They've got their health issues, but they can live on their own still. They're not, they're not invalid. They're able to, do everything they need to do. They have each other still, but a part of me is like, I kind of wanted to stick around, because they're not young anymore. And my boyfriend said, well, once his kid grows up, maybe we could move back here to Miami area, which is fine with me. I think he just wants to stay up there, because his kid is still young. You know, he's 14. I don't remember if I mentioned it in another video, but I'm excited about that trip in the train. I've never done it before. I've heard of other people who have done it, and they said it was kind of cool. And they've been doing it for years. It's something you can come down here from Virginia as well on the AutoTrain. They both leave at 4 p.m. One drives south and one comes south, leaves Lorton, Virginia at 4 p.m. and one drive goes north, leaving Sanford, Florida at 4 p.m. And you have to board the car earlier. We're going to board the car as soon as they let us board the car. So we'll board the car and then we'll go probably sightsee a little bit until it's time to, you know, get on the train to actually leave. But I'll just get the car on there and get that out of the way. And I'm taking my sewing machine. I have two sewing machines. One is an overlock. So I really want to take that because, you know, I'd like to... Oh, I keep saying I'm going to start on those sewing videos. And I think I will be inspired once I'm there and I have a place to put it. He says there's a room where I can set up like a little office, which is so nice of him to think of me. It won't be my place, but there's room there for me to work. It's his son's room, but his son is going to move to the basement. His son doesn't live there all the time anyway. I am a little concerned about the son situation. I love kids, you know, but he's a teenager and I just hope he, you know, is okay with this. My friend said, well, he has to be okay with it because, you know, you're the person I've chosen. But I don't know. I mean, kid's been through a lot already with his parents divorcing, and then his mother divorced again from his stepfather, who he actually got along with his stepfather, and they're still in touch. And he's a teenager. It's hard being a teenager, and I'm going to try to be, you know, cool. I want to be a cool stepmom. I don't have to have the same relationship that I had with my other stepkids. Well, he's not a stepkid. I'm not getting married. I'm just moving in. But, you know, it's a similar connection as it would be with a stepkid. But I'm just going to try to be the cool, chill lady that's dating his father, that's, you know, that's in a relationship with his father. And, you know, if maybe once I'm there, he'll be more willing to interact with me because, yeah, I think he was just really uncomfortable these last times that I visited. So, but I mean, I've always let him know, you know, I told him, oh, hey, I do YouTube, I have a YouTube channel. I told him about my sewing channel. I don't necessarily tell everybody about this channel here. But, and I told him if you want, I could show you how to edit videos. And I'm going to try to offer him things that he might think are cool. Like, he doesn't know how to edit videos, so I could, you know, show him. It's pretty easy, but, and, you know, so maybe he could start a little YouTube channel just to distract him from the Xbox, because these kids are addicted to the gaming. I was thinking of starting a support group for people whose kids are addicted to gaming, like on meetup.com, and like they would all have to force their kids to all go out to some outing together. Like people of the group will say, okay, on X date, we're all going to force our kids to get off the Xbox, or, you know, just unplug the Xbox, and they all have to come and meet. And it sounds like a good idea in theory, but my fear is this. What's going to happen is the kids are all gamers. They're all going to become friends, you know, because they all have the gaming in common, and then they'll all go back to their homes and like be friends on the game, on the on the gaming. But even so, at least they will have met in person, and it'll be more kind of more normal. And then we'll say, okay, once a month by force, we're unplugging the Xbox on this date, and we're all going to go to whatever outing, the there's a lot of museums down there in D.C. and they're all free of charge. You enter free because our taxes pay for that. The Smithsonian museums, you just go to D.C. and walk in, and you don't have to donate anything, or you don't have to pay entrance or anything. So, and there's a lot of good exhibits, and there's temporary exhibits sometimes, and so, or whatever, make them ride bikes or make them do something, roller skating, bowling. These kids don't exercise. Oh, the darn dehumidifier. It's been raining non-stop, so that thing doesn't stop. Hang on, I'm going to turn it off just for the video. But it is a concern, I think, the parents have. And the kids are so delayed in maturity level. I mean, it's crazy. The ones I've met anyway. I'm sure of course there are mature kids that I haven't met, but the kids I've met that are my friends' kids or my, even, family members that are millennials or younger are just, they're so clueless. Oops, maybe some of you are millennials, I'm sorry. Well, it's the generation gap. Obviously, not all millennials are clueless, and some of them are older millennials too, so. But the very young, I guess these wouldn't be millennials now. The kids that are coming of age now aren't named yet. They name them when they start turning, 18, 19, start breaking into the workforce. Then that next generation. I said on Facebook, they're going to call this generation of kids Generation Xbox. I'm from Generation X. That's we're the children of the baby boomers. So the children of millennials would be the future generations that are coming out, now. And they would be on the tail end of this generation of teens. Oh, anyway. Generation Xbox. That's what they're going to be. Even if they play Nintendo, but just... Okay. Well, that's all for today, guys. Thanks for listening. I'll fill you in on my next few weeks if anything interesting comes up. Thanks for listening.